Yo. Welcome into the WNBA ChrisBeCappinn Show. Happy Friday. We made it through another work week, another week. Hopefully you guys have tomorrow off or, whatever. At least we made it to Friday. Big slate in the WNBA. We're going to jump right into it. Appreciate you all for tapping in as always. Hit the like button for me if you can as we join. Got a lot of information, a lot of looks. I'm thinking they're good looks to share with you guys as well. So with no further ado, let's jump into it, man. We always start the show with a quick recap of yesterday, and it was a good one for me. Ended up on the Valkyries plus the 15 with all the injury news on both sides. And then Dallas and Chicago was the play that I gave out yesterday on the show. So 2-0 day. We needed it. I think I dropped like 4 bets in a row in the WNBA. So green day yesterday. Hopefully you guys made some money as well. I know we talked about Paige Beckers. jaXon likes Paige Beckers. I like Paige Beckers over her assist last night as well. She did get the job done there as well. I think she finished with 7. Let me just double check. But she finished with 8. I'm sorry. And then jaXon also liked Angel Reese under her points, and that was a winner. So jaXon did go 2-0 yesterday as well. We'll talk about what jaXon likes in just a second. But let's go through the comments. Hopefully you guys made some money as well. Good morning, Algina. She says went 1-2 in the W last night. Cast on the over. She says lost New York first half minus the 9.5. I talked about that on the show, but remember I also said that it was not. We had to wait on the injury report. Jonquel Jones ended up being downgraded, and then the players were going to play for Washington the Golden State, which is why I ended up on the Valkyries last night. So let's get it back today for sure. PMB says top of the morning, Chris. Blessings and safe bets to all. Absolutely appreciate this, PMF. Good morning, Brian. Appreciate you for tapping in. Prolific says, good morning, Chris. Knicks DD adversity once again. And people, please hit the like button. Appreciate that. He says it's free. It's a lot of information I'm going to share with you guys for sure. Good morning, Helping Hands. What up, Nick? Says, yo. What up, D. Johnson? What up, She? Good morning. Malik. What up, my brother? Chicago got us some money last night. Good morning, Tyler. Says, I got a sky fever this morning, Chris. We in the wear collar. I like it, Malik. I like it, man. I'm glad y'all was there. I told you that offense was going to come around, Malik. I told you. Ariel Atkins out there, getting buckets, giving up buckets. Enrique putting her on the ground, had her skating all across the floor. What's up, Bet at Your Own Risk? Says, what's good, Chris and Chat? Went 1-3 in the NBA, 3-2 in the W, 1-0 in the W, 3-2 in MLB, 1-0 in the W, with Breanna Stewart, 20+ points. I did go 0-1 in the NBA yesterday. Played Pacers team total over. Pastor Galaxy Alchem said they just played harder than us. Idiot, man. It is what it is. JFX says, Chris, are the Sun that bad to catch 12.5 with Clarkless fever? Seems too high, in my opinion. We're going to talk about it. Good morning, Billy, as well. Appreciate you for tapping in, bro. Tyler says, when we get there, please talk me off Jonquel Jones over at 22.5 points plus rebounds. She dominated the Mystics last year. Let's jump into it then. Let's get there. So jaXon up first. Yesterday, I already talked about it. jaXon went 2-0 yesterday. Paige Beckers over her 6.5 assists was a winner. Angel Reese under her, I think 10.5 points is what jaXon said, but the line was at 12.5. Either way, she went 2 for 6, finished with just 6 points. She only finished with 9 rebounds, but she did get 5 assists last night. So jaXon went 2-0 yesterday. See if jaXon can stay hot today. Same prompt. What are the 2 best WNBA player props? 1 over, 1 under. jaXon tells me that it likes Skylar Diggins over her points. 14.5 is the number. It says that Skylar Diggins has been a consistent scorer, hitting the over in this line in 80% of her last 5 games. Her last 10 games, last 15, and last 20 games. So her recent scoring average is 18.5 points, 18.8 points over the last 5, well above this 14.5 line against the Dream this season. She has a 66.7% hit rate of matchups, averaging 16 points. So the odds for this, though, I didn't even look. Minus 250. I can't do anything with that. Maybe a parlay piece for Skylar Diggins to get to 16 points. Let's see what her points prop is actually listed at. Let's just double check real quick. 17.5. So yeah, this would only be a parlay piece. 17.5 is not 14.5 though. I should have probably checked that. We got a better under though. So Sabrina Ionescu under 16.5 points. Odds come in at minus 105 on Caesars. It says Sabrina has struggled to hit this line recently, going under in 80% of her last 5 and 10 games. Her scoring averages over those last 5 games are just 11.6 points per game, significantly below the 16.5. Additionally, her season-long hit rate is for the under is 75%, and she's only exceeded this line once in the 4 games so far. Given her recent struggles and consistent underperformance against this line, the under is a strong play. So take Sabrina Ionescu under her 16.5 points against the Washington Mystics today, and that is jaXon's thoughts for today. As always, check jaXon out if you guys are interested. MLB, home run props, WNBA, NBA Finals, you name it. I mean, people are like using jaXon to handicap tennis and soccer and everything else. I don't really dabble in those sports at all, but it's there. It's available. Can give you some great insight. Use code ChrisBeCappinn 2Ps 2Ns 50% off your first month or whatever tier it is that you sign up for. Let's jump into the matchups for today. So first up, we got the New York Liberty and the Washington Mystics. Of course, the Mystics are playing their second straight game. They just played last night. Barely got a win last night against the Valkyries, who played them to the wire. Jonquel Jones missed that game last night. She's questionable, I'm guessing, on the injury report for today. Of course, the Mystics can release their injury report late because it is the second leg of a home road back-to-back. Nair Sabali also didn't play last night. We'll see what her status will be for today. On the Washington Mystics side of things, I think they had a pretty clean injury report. Yeah, I think everybody will be available. That's a part of their rotation. So for New York, first time this season, they're playing back-to-backs. And like I mentioned, this is travel from New York to DC. Washington has covered for the last 4 meetings, going back to last season when they played in the playoffs. Of course, that team looked a little bit different, but this Washington team is fun, man. They are really, really fun. Sonia Citron, Kiki Irfan showing that they are, absolutely, like not just one-hit wonders. They done really, really well in pretty much all the games that they played. And now you got Aaliyah Edwards back into the rotation, so coach is kind of, flexing Aaliyah Edwards and Kiki Irfan, back and forth out of the lineup. Shakira Austin is back. She's coming off the bench. It's a lot of energy for Washington, man. I like this Washington team a lot. Also for Washington, second straight home game. They're 2-0 straight up and against the number at the crib. Both games came as a dog. Third best ATS percentage so far this season. When I was going through it, and I added Washington plus the 8.5. When I was going through it, it's just too many things to kind of not, play on Washington in my opinion. This line did open at 10.5 though. I do want to say that. And there's an 8.5 right now that's available on DraftKings. That's what I played. It's also down to 7.5 on a couple books as well. Washington is 5th in defensive rating. If they're going to be in the game, I think it's going to be because they do slow down this Washington offense. Offensively, Washington's not great. They're 10th in offensive rating, but they are 5th in offensive rebound percentage. And I think that's one of the advantages that they have over the Liberty. The Liberty allow more offensive rebounds than any other team. Washington allows just 78.5 points per game. Good for 5th defensively. And yes, the Libs do average 94 points per game, but with the rest disadvantage here, potentially not having all their key players, I do think that they could struggle to score the basketball in this game. Libs also rely a lot on three-point shooting. Washington is actually 3rd and above the break three-point shooting this season as well. So yeah, the Liberty did. The caution is Liberty did finish 3-0, straight up 2-1 against the number when they were playing unrested last season. This is a lot of what they had last season as well. Also, all 3 of those games went to the over. But the Washington Mystics have played 4 straight unders to start this season after their first game went under. First game of the season went over against Connecticut. So I did play the Washington Mystics plus 8.5 in this game. Also wanted to bring this up. So shout out to the Money Baller. I'm going to use it a lot more on the show. But in the top up here, you can see the minutes that the Liberty played last night. Because people probably didn't get a chance to watch it. I had this pulled up while I'm at graduation last night. Because I had the Valkyries. And, they didn't make it easy for the Liberty. You see the minutes right here, played by Breanna Stewart, Kennedy Burke, who started last night for, Jonquel Jones. Phoebus played 32 minutes. All of the starters played 30-plus minutes last night. Natasha Howard, Sabrina, who had a big game. So, yeah. And then also, outside of that, and this is what I was talking about with the three-point shooting, you come down here, you can start to see that the Liberty rely a lot on their three-point shot, right? Above the break three-point attempts, they are 5th at 23.75. And you can see that even though the Washington Mystics allow, 19 of those a game, they are holding teams to 37%, which is 3rd. And this is what I was talking about. So opponent above the break 3, field goal percentage. I'm sorry, second, 26.2%. So they're a really good team. I think they can take away what the Liberty want to do. Also thought about Liberty team total under, but I am not trying to sweat out an under on a Friday night, man. So 86.5, I think was the number real quick. And then we'll get to the next game. I think I saw 86.5 is what you could get on Hard Rock and DraftKings. Minus 120. So yeah, I kind of lean that way as well. I think the Mystics gonna have a chance. It's gonna be because of their defense, not necessarily because of their offense. So that's my thought process. Give me the Washington Mystics plus the 8.5 in this game. Let's see what you guys are thinking, if any thoughts at all in this one. Tyler wanted to know about Jonquel, so we'll go over and look at Jonquel in just a second. Anthony says, good morning, Chris. Hard rebounds, the gift that keeps on giving. Enrique threes made it a great night. Didn't even get there. I talked about it yesterday, man. Thinking Josh Hart would have a great rebounding game. I should have just probably played that. What up, Justin? Appreciate you for tapping in. Me says, I rock with Sidney Johnson as the Mystics' new head coach. He's nice. I like Sidney as well. I got to get to a Mystics game, man. I got a couple of them, Game Time apps pulled up. Got the tickets pulled up. Haven't played it yet, though. Let Him Rise says, Mystics plus 14.5, alt spread, total under 170. Could not talk you off for that at all. I think this game's going to be under. Total also open at 168.5, so it has come down 4 points as well. Says, I'm loving this Mystics team. That's a fact. Markel says, why can't the Mystics win outright? Morning, bro. Morning. Outright, I can definitely see them potentially, winning outright. I think a couple things need to happen for them to win outright. But if no Jonquel Jones, I could definitely see that. Brian says, Chris, Cloud, points and assists, first game back in DC. I could not talk you up. I was looking into Natasha Cloud. She didn't shoot the ball well yesterday. You can see it up here. Shot just, 2 for 8, 1 for 7 from the 3-point line. I mean, she probably going to have Slim Gardner, in my opinion. Slim is one of the best defenders. Slim taking somebody away in this game. Like Sabrina or, Natasha. One of those guards will not have a good game. So, Sabrina shot the ball 21 times yesterday. I'm not sure if she's going – I don't know what that's going to look like, but – couldn't talk you off Natasha Cloud. I just don't like playing against Slim. Slim is a really great on-ball defender. Probably going to be WNBA all-defensive team again, Brian, is my thought process. Timeout says Cloud coming back to reality the last 2 games. She's not a shooter. That's a fact. She is not a shooter, but I don't know. Maybe she's been working on that jump shot timeout because she was hitting. You're right. She was absolutely hitting. But, yeah, give me Mystics in this one. Let's move over to the next. Next one is the Sun and the Fever. This line open, not where it is right now. I'll tell you that. Let's see. What did this line open? I didn't even see the opening line. Let's just double check it real quick. So my eye screen will load. Moving kind of slow. Come on, man. All right, moving too slow. Taking too long. I'm trying to be proficient with my time today. So screw with the line open there. I know I saw it at 11. I don't think it was at 11 in the beginning, but I'm not sure what the line was. The Connecticut Sun are a really bad team in general. The Indiana Fever, of course, will be without Caitlin Clark. This Connecticut Sun team is really bad. So if we look at the Connecticut Sun, again, shout out to Moneyballer. This is really all I needed to see. So the Sun are on the left-hand side, the Fever are on the right-hand side. And you see all this red. Red is bad, right? Red means like you're not doing anything well. And you can see the win percentage. Connecticut Sun have not won a game. They're 0-5 straight up, 1-4 against the numbers so far. The only cover happened to come against the Minnesota Lynx when I tried to fade them, and they didn't cover that. They covered that game and haven't covered since. They do have a one-day rest advantage in this game. For the Indiana Fever, of course, they'll be without Caitlin Clark. Second straight game. First game at the crib, though. This is Stephanie White first game against her old team, the Connecticut Sun. DeWanna Bonner's first game against her old team. Indiana also off until Tuesday. They don't play. They don't have any weekend games. And then you got to go to the injury report as well. So kind of all over the place, man. Lindsey Allen out with a hamstring injury. Marina Mabry listed as questionable. Olivia Nelson-Ododa is also questionable with a right ankle injury. And then the other, I think she's a guard. Locken, I think is how you pronounce her name, is not with the team. She has to overseas obligations, so she of course won't be with the team either. So I mean, I'll be quick here. First thing I thought about in this game is when I saw Marina Mabry pop up on the injury report yesterday. I was trying to go bet Connecticut team total under, um, and I did. I just like I can't bet that much money on it though because I'm so limited on the books that offer the team total. Hard Rock has limited me for a long time now, and Fanatics has also limited me too. So I can't bet like big on either one of those books. So not even official play. I did bet the team total under though. As far as like this game, I can't lay this many points with Indiana. I could absolutely see them coming out smoking Connecticut. Again, you can see Connecticut's numbers on the screen here. Um, and I honestly, let's just go over the money ball. I'll tell you guys the way I want to bet this game. Um, all right, so let's take a short field trip over to Money Baller. All right. So actually she's not even listed. Oh man. All right. Anyway, we can't see it right now. Let me just refresh real quick. Yeah, they don't have her lines listed, but her lines are listed. I want to bet on Lexi Hall today. So we'll get away from Moneyballer. Um, but that's who I want to bet on today. I want to bet on Lexi Hall. I want to bet on her points prop. The line is listed at 8.5. It's only available on Bet365 right now. But a large part of it, in my opinion, is the Connecticut Suns defense. It's been pretty bad, specifically from the 3-point line. I mean, it's not good overall. You can see the defensive rating on the screen, second worst in the WNBA so far. But against the 3-point shot, it's been a little bit worse as well. So if we go to Moneyball, I'm not going to pull this up on the screen just for time purposes. I always tell you guys to check Moneyballer out if you're interested. But if we go look at the Suns 3-point defense using Moneyballer, they are allowing the second most attempts. So above the break threes and corner threes allowed, they're allowing the second most and the third most. And teams are shooting the ball really well. They're actually shooting um let's see, corner three allowed. They're actually shooting 50% from the 3-point line. This is why I like Lexi Hall in this game. I think her points prop, she could hit 3 threes in the first half. So her points prop being listed at 8.5. Like I said, it's only available on Bet365. I didn't play it yet, but that's the way I want to play this game. I don't know if the Fever can cover. I guess they can. This is the Connecticut Sun. They're absolutely trash. But I don't know. You also got to wait on the injury report. I'm not interested in betting this game from a side perspective, especially with 2 starters. 3 starters. Lindsay Allen's a starter as well. Potentially 3 starters not playing for the Indiana Fever, for the Connecticut Sun. And then no Caitlin Clark. We just don't have a large enough sample size. So I want to bet on, just on Lexi Hall in this spot, in my opinion. That's the way I think you get paid here. Let's see what you guys are thinking. DJ says, I think I'm feeling that under 164. Yeah, when I bet the team total yesterday, I think it was like 76.5. That number, of course, is gone. I couldn't put about a couple dollars on it, so not even an official play. But it's also dependent upon if they play. Like, they could play. If Olivia Nelson-Ododa and Marina Mabry play, Connecticut's offense could get a spark. It's 74.5 on most books. DraftKings got it down to 73.5. So let me talk you off. DJ, I could see it under as well. Oh, what about Jacko? We'll go back to Jacko, Tyler. I'll go back to Jacko for you. Fever team total over 86.5. Sophie, Lexi, Kelsey going crazy tonight. I could see it. Leah Boston probably gonna go crazy as well against Tina Charles. I could see all of that. One of my least favorite games on the board. Let's go to the next one. Dream in the Storm. So this line open at 3, I think. And of course, it's been bet up 3.5, 4 on some books. Right now, the best line available is, let's see what we can find. The best line is, you still can get 3.5 for Seattle on FanDuel, but the best number is on ESPN Bet. And yeah, I did bet this one as well. So get my notes out. Start with the injury report. Brittany Griner is upgraded. She is listed as probable after missing the last 2 games. Jordan Kennedy is still out. She should be evaluated pretty soon, though. Alicia Clark is listed as probable for the Seattle Storm. They don't have anybody else on the injury report at all. I'm sorry, Alicia Clark is actually listed as questionable in this game due to a left ankle injury. We'll see if she plays. Both teams are pretty rested. Both teams have 2 days rest in this game. This is one where I will actually go over to Moneyballer so you guys can see what I saw when I was looking at this game. Dreamstorm. Let's take that short field trip real quick. All right, so I'm looking at the game. This is Moneyballer. There's a link in the description if you guys want to check it out. You'll make a ton of money, in my opinion, if you know how to use this to handicap sports, but specifically WNBA. So looking at this Atlanta game versus Seattle, right? I think so. You can see both teams well rested, 2 days of rest. Baller system says back. Home teams and elite matchups between 2 elite teams. So the Dream did take my money the other day, right? I was betting on Seattle in that game. It was Atlanta's first game on the West Coast. Thought it was a sleepy spot for them. Third game in 4 nights, fourth game in 6 nights. It didn't even matter. They were able to get a 6-point win as a 2-point dog against Atlanta. And they've been good. The Atlanta Dream are actually 4-2 straight up, 4-2 against the spread. Last 2 games. This is the last game of this 2-game Western Conference trip. You can see that they go back they go back to Connecticut to play, and they got a little while too. They don't play again until the 6th, so they got plenty of time before they play again. Whereas Seattle got the Aces coming up again, and that game will be played on Sunday. This Atlanta team won what is it now? Won and covered 3 in a row. I think it's a little bit of a letdown spot for them coming off their win as a dog against the Sparks the other day. Also, sometimes the second game on the West Coast can be a little bit more of a jet lag spot. And then there's also just the Seattle Storm. Like, this isn't a team that I want to bet against specifically at home. We talked about Aces team total under on last Sunday. That was a winner, even though it only got there by half a point. And then we also talked about, I like Seattle plus the points against Minnesota the other day. They were getting 7.5. I didn't bet that one, but that was a winner as well. So we come down here, we look at this Storm team, number 1 in ATS so far. The Dream not bad, right? Right behind them at 67%. The Storm have covered, I think it's 4 games in a row? Yeah, 3-2 straight up, 4-1 against the number, 4 straight games in a row, coming off that loss against the Lynx. So I think they'll be motivated at the crib. And this is what I always want to bet on, their defense, right? The Storm defense goes crazy at the crib. 97.64 defensive rating, which is 4th in the WNBA right now. They just, they play really good defense. I think Brittany Griner coming back, they got bodies to throw at her. She may even slow the offense down a little bit because I feel like Atlanta has been playing well without her, with just one center out there with Bree Jones. So I'm expecting Seattle to be able to force some turnovers in this game. You can see their turnover force rate is 5th best in the WNBA. They do a really good job of scoring off those, points off turnovers. You can see that number right here. They're 3rd in the WNBA. And I'm expecting, Atlanta to potentially struggle with taking care of the basketball. Atlanta's a good team. I love Ryan Howard, love Alicia Gray, but I'll take Seattle in this spot. I did lay the 3.5 with Seattle in this spot. I think that they get the job done at the crib. Storm only played 1 game as a home favorite. They did win a game that was against the Mercury, I think it was. You can see the Dream as a road dog. They are 2-0 straight up. 2-0 against the spread. Also 2-0 straight up. So don't talk me off of your Dream bets. Don't let me talk you off of your Dream bets. I'm just on Seattle in this spot. You still can get the same number I got at 3.5, thinking that they get the job done at the crib coming off a loss. So shout out to Moneyballer. Let's go through and see what you guys are thinking about it, and then we'll move over to the next game. All right, let's see. Go back to the comments. Will says, what up, though, Chris? I like the under in this game. Think he's talking about the last one. Maybe he's talking about this one. GLB says, System says take the points with the Sun and Sparks. We'll talk about, System says we can talk about the Sparks game. Yeah, I did bet that one, too. I laid a point to the Dream in this one. Me, too. What up, Mark? Appreciate you for tapping in. Storm clamp. They do clamp up at the crib, man. Marks has placed Sun plus 12.5, Atlanta plus 3.5. So me and Mark on different sides in the Atlanta game. Best of luck on the Sparks game. DJ says, I think the Storm can make a deep playoff push this season. Joel Lloyd was holding them back once Gabby Williams came to the team, but now they're playing more free without Joel Lloyd. Love it for Gabby. Yeah, that's a fact. And Gabby also was overseas. She was committed to France last season, so she wasn't with the team for majority of the season at all. Florida, we'll talk about this game. I think it's next. DJ Prop says Storm minus 3.5, team total over 80.5 in this spot. Okay, yeah. So going back to the total real quick, I feel like it's priced about right. Atlanta surprisingly has been a pretty good defensive team. Like they started the season off in Washington, giving up 94 points, but they are 6th in defensive rating, 3rd in offensive rating. I think that offense is going to struggle, in my opinion. Offensive rating is 104.9. We'll see what happens, but hopefully it's a Ryan Howard game where she goes missing, because that happens sometimes. So we'll see. Let's move over to the next. We got the Sparks and the Aces. This line is now up to I said 10.5. It looks like is out there as well. The total is 160. The consensus for the total is 166.5 now. And this was one that I did play last night. All right, so getting into the matchup here, we got the Aces. And now, honestly, let's just go back to Moneyballer, because I want you. Moneyballer is so cool because I get a chance to kind of show you guys what I'm looking at and why I made those plays. All right, so we go back to Moneyballer real quick. Setting the stage for the game, we got Rickea Jackson listed as out. I do think that's going to hurt the Sparks offense a little bit, in my opinion. No Ray Burrell, of course. Cameron Brink is supposed to be back next month. And then on the Aces side, same two. Meg Gustafson and Cheyenne Parker-Tyus is listed as out. So we got the Sparks, who have covered 5 straight times against the Aces. They, for whatever reason, hate the Aces. This is Kelsey Plum playing against her old team. We also got the Sparks, who are just 2-4 straight up, 3-3 against the spread. They lost to Atlanta on Tuesday as a 2-point favorite. Their wins have come against the Sky and the Valkyries. I think that's something to take into consideration. The Sparks wins, they got 2 of them. They beat the Valkyries in their first ever game, and they beat the Chicago Sky. That don't make me really want to back the Sparks, if I'm being honest. Now, when they've been favorites, they've been trash. When they've been dogs, they've been better. In the other games, they've given up 88 points to Atlanta, and we can actually bring that up if we go here. All right, so this is the wrong game. Let's go ahead. Sparks and Aces. All right, so it's some baller systems on the Aces here. Actually, a lot of baller systems on the Aces. 5 of them on the Aces. But let's go here. So we look at the Sparks last couple games, right? Everything that I'm about to say is highlighted in here between 527 and 516 right here. Okay. So in the other games that the Sky didn't win, they gave up 88 to Atlanta, 89 to Phoenix, 89 to Minnesota, and a straight up loss to the Golden State Valkyries where they scored just 73 points. You look at the Aces, they have the rest advantage. With not having played since Sunday when they got absolutely smoked, got embarrassed in Seattle, lost that game 82-102. That is actually right here. This line here. Failed to cover that point spread by 25 points. So this should be a nice little bounce back spot for the Aces. They are just 2-1 straight, 2-2 straight up, and 1-3 against the spread. Their only cover came against Connecticut. They play Seattle again in Seattle on Sunday. So maybe a little bit of I don't think they can look ahead when you got beat by 25 in your last game. You kind of got to take care and handle business. But I can't get there with the Aces, though. I can't get there with the Sparks. I guess if I had to play, I would be leaning towards the Sparks, but I can't get there. The Aces have come off back-to-back terrible performances. They started the season off against the New York Liberty. They got smoked in that game, beat Connecticut, came back strong. But then they almost lost to the Washington Mystics. We got to remember that as well. They struggled against the Mystics in that game, barely won that game. I think it was Joe Lloyd who hit the game winner, and then they go to Seattle and they get absolutely smoked. So the way that I ended up playing it is I played over. I got 165 last night. The line is on the move north, and I told you guys why I like it, right? If we come down here, we look at the offensive and defensive ratings. Look at the Sparks. 5th best offense, but they play no defense. 10th in defensive rating. Look at the Aces, 6th in offensive rating, but they play no defense. 9th in defensive rating. Now, when I look at the pace, I don't like that both of these teams are 11th and 12th in pace because that tells me that they're playing slow. However, I am expecting this pace to be up for this game. I do think sometimes the pace can contribute to, who these teams have been playing against. The Aces just played against the Storm, not a team that plays super fast. They also played against Connecticut, not a team that's playing super fast recently. And the Mystics also a team that don't play super fast. Then on the opposite side, we look at the Sparks. They just played against Chicago. Chicago Sky actually do play fast, but they played against some pretty slow opponents as well. So I'm expecting a lot of points in this game. I'm expecting both teams to be able to score the basketball. So yeah, I played over in this game. I think not having Rickea Jackson does hurt a little bit, but I think the Aces are going to be able to score against the Sparks. I also expect De'Arica Hamby to absolutely go crazy every time she plays against this Aces team after winning the championship with them and filing that lawsuit, feeling like she was done dirty by the organization when she was pregnant. I don't know. She just always turns up against this team. So I do like over, and that's the way I chose to play this game. If we look at the historical matchups, we can see over under right here. This one did go under the total by 15.5, but this one went over by 17.5 points, over by 26 points, over by a point and a half, over by 1.5. So what is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 and 2 to the under in the last 6 games, 4 and 3 to the under in the last 7 games. To the over, to the over. I think we'll see points in this one. So I did bet this one up and over the total. I guess if I had to play it, I would lean towards the Sparks catching the points. The problem with that is when I was looking into some systems yesterday, home favorites who have the rest advantage, who previously lost as a favorite, if it's a regular season game, they're 62-44 and 3 against the number. That's about 58.5% that says the Sparks can absolutely smoke the Aces can absolutely smoke the Sparks in this spot. I think this line opened at 9, so you could have got a 9 with the Aces. I don't want anything to do with the Aces. They're going to have to show me before I want to lay a lot of points with them. I do expect them to be motivated in this game, though. That's how I see this one. Didn't bet any player props, but couldn't talk anybody off of De'Arica Hamby over. She typically goes bananas against this Aces team. So I guess if I'm playing anything from a player prop perspective, it would be a look towards De'Arica Hamby. Real quick, if we go look at De'Arica on Moneyballer, a lot of shuffling today. Hamby, and we only need to look at one thing. Well, we can look at 2 things. Her points prop 16.5. She's coming off a 28-point game. So these are the 4 games so far this season. I'm sorry, the 6 games so far this season. 1, 2, 3, 4. So she's been back and forth, right? Under. So hasn't been able to put together back-to-back performances. But if we go and look at head-to-head matchup, you can see 16.5. She's gone over in 3 of the 4 games since she's played against the Aces. And it's typically not close. 29, 28. And an 18-point game here, even though she did stay under in the most recent game. So, yeah, I would be playing on De'Arica Hamby in this game, especially now that Rickea Jackson isn't available. Should be even more minutes for her. Hopefully, Odyssey Sims can get busy, banking on, my girl Azarae Stevens to go out here and get a bucket as well. Let's see what you guys are thinking about this one. Sparks plus 10.5 for Justin. 11.5. Don't let me talk you guys off. Aces don't look like. I mean, I think they are a little bit overvalued. The Sparks, I got to figure out who the Sparks are. One thing I know for sure about the Sparks, they ain't trying to play no defense. Out there getting skated around. Let's see. JFX says, I don't know about y'all, but I love these late games. Always the best time to live bet. Let me talk you off. Sparks can't win the chip, in my opinion, Derek. They don't play enough defense. It's a first-year coach too, and it's a whole bunch of players, joined together. Dark horse to win the chip, I think it's a little too far. He says should be Aces spot, but they got to show me first, and I agree with that. Mark says he told the over, but I also don't trust either side yet. Yeah, I don't trust either side either, Mark. So we agree. Dom says he's going back to his faithful Aces first quarter team total over. Can't talk you all. They should be able to run it up. I couldn't talk anybody off the Aces team total over. I told you guys this Sparks team has not been playing any defense. What did I put in my notes? Gave up 88 to Atlanta. That was in LA. It was at home for that game. 89 to Phoenix, 89 to Minnesota. We asking the Aces to get to 88.5. So you need the Aces to get to 89 as well. I think that they can. The Aces defense just hasn't been there, and they're getting smoked. So I think they'd be able to score. Asia most points scored, I think, in the game is plus money. Let them ride says on FanDuel. Couldn't talk you off of that. It'll be her or De'Erica Hamby. Kelsey Plum gonna try to prove a lot as well. Will says he likes Kelsey over her 5.5 assists. Top play for the game for me. Let me talk you off. I can see Kelsey trying to get busy against her old team. But the Aces also I think they're gonna play with some vengeance because of that as well. All right, next game up, we got the Minnesota Lynx and the Phoenix Mercury. So this game is an interesting one, and I'll be brief. If I'm being honest, I don't really want to talk about it too much, and the reason why is because Minnesota has Napheesa Collier, the front runner for MVP now that Caitlin Clark is missed, is projected to miss about 2 weeks. Fee is actually listed as questionable in this game. Kind of hurts my heart to say that because I love watching Fee play basketball. It's a knee injury that has her listed as questionable. When I was looking on, some advanced numbers with Fee on the floor versus off the floor earlier this morning, what I found was, let's see if I can go back and find the tab real quick. Let's see if I can find it. Okay, all right, I got it. So Napheesa Collier on the floor this season, she's played 177 minutes. They got an offensive rating of 115 and a defensive rating of 94 with her on the floor. So really, really good, spread there. That's like a plus 21 with her on the floor. Napheesa Collier off the floor, plus 20.24. Napheesa Collier off the floor, it's only been 23 minutes. They're minus 50 in net rating. I mean, I don't think that they're that bad. But 73.9 offensive rating and a 123.9 defensive rating is kind of alarming in this game. And I kind of want to play Minnesota. Like, I do think they're the right side. This line was at 5 yesterday, and now it's come all the way down, I think, to, 3.5? Yeah, 3.5, 4. It's really dependent on if he plays, man. The Mercury have been good. If we go back over to, if I just share my screen again real quick, and go back to Moneyballer, pull this game up. So if we go back to Moneyballer, we look at the Lynx versus the Mercury. Both of these teams have been really, really good, right? Minnesota, they've actually beaten this Phoenix team 4 straight times. They've covered 3 of the 4 spreads. They're 5-0 straight up, 2-3 against the spread this season. But they have failed to cover 3 in a row. The Minnesota Lynx, you can see their ATS percentage is only 40% so far this season, which is 8th. Right here, 40%, which is 8th, and the Mercury also 40%, which is 8th. So both of these teams haven't really been covering game. For the Mercury, this is their 3rd straight home game. They are coming off back-to-back wins where they, had needed strong second halves to beat the Washington Mystics and a strong second half to beat the Chicago Sky as well. They're 4-1 straight up, but just like I said, just 2-3 against the numbers so far this season. Offensively, the Lynx are really, really good, but of course, a lot of that is predicated on Napheesa Collier being in. They also got Kayla McBride back as well. Defensively, actually not playing as great as we would expect them to. 7th in defensive rating. This was a top 3 defensive team last season. The Mercury are playing really good defense. Their offense has struggled at times. So I don't really know what to do with this game, man. Lynx also playing pretty slow. Mercury kind of middle of the pack. Like, I think you really got to wait on Fee. If Fee plays, I kind of need to hear what Cheryl Reeves has to say about how healthy she's going to be, and then maybe I'll get there on a play in this game. But I don't really want to play anything before it starts. And if Fee doesn't play, I think I would be looking towards if he doesn't play, I think I'd be looking towards the under. That's probably be the way I play it. Because I think the Lynx defense will play well. I don't really trust this Mercury's offense. You can see right here, 8th in offensive rating, and I do think that the Lynx will play hard and try to win the game, like really win the game if he doesn't play. So I would probably be looking towards the under if Napheesa Collier does not play in this game, especially with the Lynx playing so slow. So that's my thought process on that game. Don't really like it as much. What's up, Adam? Appreciate you for tapping in. DJ says Mercury upset Lynx at home. Great spot to do so. Me says Mercury tough in the valley and maybe no Collier. Line is sharp, and I agree. The X factor is a lot, man. It means a lot. Bet at your own risk says he likes Satu tonight. Over 10.5 rebounds and assists. She's 4-1 against the Lynx to the over, averaging 12.4, and is currently averaging 10.8 in her last 10. Satu been getting busy, man. She been absolutely getting busy. She got the ultra green light out there too. Like she's shooting every time, almost like a Rike. But she can dish the Brock too. So I couldn't talk you off of that bet at your own risk. Lynx defense is pretty good though. And that's the last game on the board, man. So getting into a quick recap. I did bet everything that you see green. Washington plus 8.5. I bet Seattle minus 3.5. I bet Aces and Sparks over 165 last night. And what I haven't played is Lexi Hall over 8.5 points. Kind of want to see what this opens on other sports books. Again, it's only available on Bet365 when I looked at it this morning. But I think Lexi Hall could have 9 points on three threes in the first half. You know what I mean? So we'll see how it goes, man. If you are interested in receiving all the plays that I make when I make them, use the link in the description to sign up. It'll cost you, less than a cup of coffee, man, for all my plays when I do make them. Best of luck on whatever it is you guys are playing. Check the resources out if you are interested. Outlier, jaXon, Moneyballer, Odds Jam, and before I get back into, because I kind of forgot what my man Tyler was saying. Hopefully he's still in the comment section. So let's go back to Moneyballer real quick because I know he wanted me to look at Jonquel Jones. So let's go back to Jonquel Jones. He was saying that she dominated against the Washington Mystics last season. So let's look at Jonquel. First of all, we gotta know if she's gonna play, and if she is gonna play, how healthy is Jonquel? Like missing yesterday, it's kind of telling. So Jonquel points, 13.5. You can see right here is the line. Her 4 games she's played so far started with the Aces this season. So we actually can go just last 5 games and take away this one. This was the finals, the game that they beat the Lynx to win the finals. So 17, 11, 26, and 13. Field goals. She's shooting the ball really well, 51%, 42% from the 3-point line. 1, 2, 3, 4. She will be the freshest player if she does play on the team with all of the New York Liberty playing 30-plus minutes yesterday. So I could see that. I could definitely see Jonquel. If we go look at her head-to-head matchup, I think this is what he was mentioning. We can see the last 4 games. These were games. These were playoff games last season, I think. I think these were playoff games last season. So, she does dominate the matchup. I'm just thinking to myself, yeah, she does dominate the matchup, 25, 16, and 29. But they got Shakira Austin back. They got Kiki down there. They got some bigs. I don't really know how I feel about Jonquel today. I think I would probably play over before I played under, though, because like I said, I think she will be the freshest player on the floor. So that's my thought process. Yeah, I see you, Tyler. I see you, man. I would probably play Toby. First of all, you still can get. Oh, that Seattle line is gone now. Okay, it was at 3.5 when we started the show. I bet it at 3.5 yesterday, but it was 3.5 minus 110 on ESPN Bet earlier. So you just missed the best of the line. I would probably pivot towards an Atlanta team total under. I think that they really struggle to score the basketball. So under 77.5, I think is the best number. I know it's a super low total for them, and they are a really good offensive team, but I like Seattle's defense. So that's probably the way that I would look in that one. Manny says Jonquel Jones points and rebounds or just some points. Either or. She's a really good rebounder, and the Washington Mystics are not that great of a rebounding team. They're actually really good as far as like defensive rebounding, but they give up a ton of offensive rebounds. When I was looking at the game against the Indiana Fever the other day, I remember looking into that stat. So that's my thought process on Jonquel. Couldn't talk you off her points plus rebounds or her points today. But it's not anything that I'll be on. I'll be on the Mystics plus the 8.5, man. Best of luck on all your action. Enjoy your weekend, man. Appreciate everybody for tapping in. As always, do me a favor, hit the like button, drop the show link in the group chat, man. Send it to your grandma, your uncle, your cousin, your co-workers, your supervisor, everybody, man. Your team manager. Send it to everybody, man. Best of luck on all your action. Enjoy the weekend, man. We'll be back before you know it. We talk NBA tomorrow. as well. And we have just one game in the W, so we'll talk about that game tomorrow as well. Best of luck on your action, man. Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy your Friday. I'm out.